Social Security is the most run-from issue in national politics. You look at D.C. right now, you look at the Democrats, and they're all frightened. They had the shot across the bow in Massachusetts last month, and they're all frightened. And so what you see they're doing now, instead of as actively promoting the progressive agenda that they were promoting, they're now starting to push back on Republicans, saying, oh, those silly Republicans, they just want to take away your Social Security, or they just want to privatize the Social Security. That's a loser's game, ladies and gentlemen. And when you see somebody doing that, when you see somebody avoiding it, like we're seeing with the folks in D.C., and starting to push back and say, oh, look how scary he would be, or look how dangerous he would be if he did something about Social Security, push back on that, ladies and gentlemen, because the answer, the issue here, is that if we do not fix Social Security, it will be gone. It will become insolvent, and it will be gone. We will have nothing. We won't have a reduced program. We will have no program. The only way we can sustain, according to the Congressional Budget Office, the only way that we can sustain the current Social Security program the way it is for the next 50 years is to increase the lowest tax rate, federal tax rate, which is right now 10%, to 35%, and increase the highest federal tax rate, which is right now 35%, to 88%. Folks, I'm just going to lay this out there. If we have an 88% tax rate in this country, we've got some real problems. So what's the issue? What's the problem with Social Security? Well, when Social Security was started in the 1930s, there were 33 workers for every beneficiary of Social Security. Today, there's a little over 3 workers, okay, for every beneficiary of Social Security. And in the next 12 years, there will be slightly over 2 workers for each beneficiary. We're getting older as a nation, and that's the problem. So if we're going to address this, we've got to put everything on the table. I, for one, believe that we have to have a private element in Social Security to make it work. I do not know exactly what that means. I am not talking about privatizing Social Security, because that's what they push back on. That's not what I'm talking about. But if we take a section of the investments in Social Security, actually make it a trust fund rather than just a phony account like it is now, and invest those monies in somewhere, not all of them, maybe not even a big portion of them, but some portion of them, so we can start to benefit from that 8% average return on equities that we've seen over the last 100 years in America. That's how we're going to make this system solvent. If we don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to do this. We either have to start paying it when you're 70 or 75, we drastically reduce the monies you receive as Social Security, or we have to drastically increase taxes. I don't think any of those 3 scenarios is a workable scenario. So I don't know the exact answer, but I will not run from the issue. When I get back to Washington, D.C., I will roll up my sleeves to work on this issue.